So today's video will be about vitamin D and whether it helps with cancer and what important facts you need to consider if you plan to take vitamin D in order to prevent getting cancer. I know most of you probably know that vitamin D helps with cancer, but the devil is in the details. How to take and what the points to consider will make the difference whether you taking vitamin D will give you the benefit that you're looking for. So let's get started. If you go online, there's a lot of confusing and contradictory information whether vitamin D helps with cancer. There's companies who sell supplements and they taught and claim that vitamin D helps with cancer, but there are also big non-conclusive research that casts some doubt whether vitamin D helps with cancer. So in order to illustrate that, I go online. This is a website when you can find the research papers, and this article is a very comprehensive article about the role of vitamin D in cancer prevention, and you can read in your leisure, and I'm going to put the link in my article in my blog. I've worked with the vitamin D and prostate cancer, so I went through what they had about prostate cancer, and there I found that they've looked at 26 studies, and half of them, 13 of them, only showed benefit. The other 13 did not show. And almost the same thing with breast cancer. They looked at 13 studies, and only 9 of them showed favorable results. And that kind of confused me about what's happening. How come the data is inconclusive? And to make the matter worse, there is a recent study from 2017 that cast out whether vitamin D does help with cancer. So what I decided to do was that to read the research papers and dig more deeper into what the research shows and probably find answer whether taking vitamin D is helpful or not. So let's go back and see what the research shows. Before I do that, I want to clarify a few facts. There is a difference between vitamin D deficiency and taking extra vitamin as a supplement. It is clear, the research shows that the low vitamin D levels does increase the risk of getting cancer. So you want to avoid that. You have to take some vitamin D to avoid being vitamin D deficient. Another fact is more for my friends who live in the sunny places, like me in Southern California. If you think that the sunlight will give you enough vitamin D, it does not. Even though you live in sunny areas of the world, you do need to take extra vitamin D in order to avoid to be vitamin D deficient. So what does the research shows? So the research shows that low vitamin D does increase your risk for cancer. Correcting vitamin D has shown some marginal benefit. Taking low levels of vitamin D, around 400 units, shows marginal benefit, but if you take higher amount of vitamin D, a minimum of 1,000 units, then you start to see some statistical difference and clinical benefit. But there is a catch. And what is the catch? So the most important fact to consider when you're taking vitamin D is the level of its metabolite in your body. So when you take vitamin D, your body metabolizes that to a metabolite called 25-hydroxyvitamin D, and I'm going to call it 25-OHD. And the level of the 25-OHD in the body is the key factor whether you will get the benefit of the vitamin D in terms of fighting cancer. So in order to illustrate that, I found a big study online that they did on 2,300 people, and they looked at the level of 25-hydroxyvitamin D, and it showed if you get a concentration of 40 nanogram or higher, it is associated with 75 lower cancer risk, which is a major factor. So it seems like we need to have at least 40 nanogram of this 25-OHD in the body to get the benefit of a vitamin D. And I'm going to put this is the study itself, the entire study. You can read in your leisure. I'm going to put this link in my article in my blog. So for people who are interested, they can read through the entire study. And the key finding of the study is actually in this table, in this figure. I know this is a little bit scientific, but I'm sure, and I hope you can follow me. So if you could look at this line, which is the cancer incidence, as you see, the cancer incidence decreases as the level of the 25-OHD increases. So this is the level of 25-OHD in the body. So it's with 20, 30, 40, 50, and this is the cancer incidence. And as you can see, as the level of the 25-OHD increases, the level of the cancer incidence decreases. And you remember in the early slide deck, I show a study online where from 2017, where they were not sure whether vitamin D does help with cancer. In that study, patients get a 25-OHD level of 30, which is a little bit beneficial. But as you can see, when you go from 30 to 40, you cut the incidence from 200 to 100, actually. So you cut it in half. So it seems like the magic number of the blood concentration for 25-OHD should be minimum 40 to 50. And if you even go higher, it does even have even more with cancer risk. So I'm sure now you wonder how much vitamin D you should take to get the correct level of 25-OHD in your body. First, I want to mention that the version of the form of the vitamin D that you want to take is D3 cholecalciphenol, and it's not difficult to find. You can find it in every retail store, but make sure this is the form that you're buying. Another tricky part is that everybody's metabolism is different. So even though we take the same amount of vitamin D, we will get different levels of 25-OHD in the body. But what I've found is that it seems like you need a minimum of 2,000 units of vitamin D daily in order to get the 25-OHD level of above 40 to 50 nanogram. And that's minimum. And I can also show you also a study online when they actually studied patients up to 15,000 units. And it seems like the vitamin D is pretty safe. So if you take 2,000 or 4,000 per day, you should not see any side effect and also get the benefit of the vitamin D. So I'm going to go back to the slide deck, sorry. And if you want to be absolutely sure, you can go to your doctor and test your blood levels for 25-OHD just to make sure that you have the correct amount, i.e. about 40 to 50 nanogram per milliliter. I know I went a little bit fast. I'm going to write an article about this, put this in my blog, and I'm going to put a link on my blog underneath this video. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email or leave a comment. I hope you find this helpful. Have a good day and God bless.